Right here, I was live with the team. If y'all want to be part of the team and join the community, just go ahead and join up through the link in the description. I'll put it in every description. You guys, just got home. It's about 9 o'clock ish, I think. I'm not even sure what the exact time is right now, but I just got home, just walked in, and on the way home, well, about 8:20 ish when I got out, I was looking at longs for 1 hour imbalance with like a couple other confirmations, but I didn't take it at first. I wanted to give it like about until like closer to 8:30 before I took it, because 8:30 is when that volume be kicking in, and so I waited a little bit. But in waiting, it went up and it didn't really want to retrace at first. Like, so I thought that bitch was just gonna leave without me. But what my two trade ideas for the day was either I was gonna long from the 1 hour imbalance, and if I got stopped out, I was gonna take my second long from a 4 hour imbalance. Obviously with other confirmations, I need at least, I would say three confirmations with time included. And while I was looking at the trade ideal, my mentor he started the live and he was looking at the exact same trade ideal as soon as he hopped on the chart. So I'm like, yeah, okay. I use him as an extra confirmation. He liked the same ideal that I was already looking at. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna just set a limit so that way, when the alert goes off on my phone where I had the entry, like I had an alert at the entry I wanted to see, I just set a limit, which sometimes fucks me, but it is what it is. I'm like, okay, if it taps me in and it just goes straight to stop loss, then I just take the second entry at the 4 hour, imbalance. I was willing to risk that, so, because that was on my only two trade ideas for the day. And, I lost Monday and Tuesday. Didn't trade yesterday, which was Wednesday, and I'm glad I didn't because that shit was choppy as fuck, and I probably would have got clapped up yesterday. Which, I have rules in place for a reason, because rules be saving you. Like one of my rules is if I lose or win 2 days in a row, I don't trade the third. So that's why I didn't trade yesterday. Obviously, y'all probably noticed if y'all watched the video that I posted yesterday. Yeah, let me open this shit up so we can get some light in this bitch. Fucking, there we go. A lot better for me at least. I don't know how it looks on camera. But yeah, anyways, I hit TP within about like 10 to 12 minutes while I was on the Uber ride home. And I just got home. And right now, I'm pretty much done with the day. I done went to work, done traded. I go hop in the shower, make some food. And I'm tired as fuck today, not gonna lie. I was tired as fuck at work. And today I lifted like all ICs today, like all trucks full of just straight heavy ass packages. So my right shoulder hurts a little bit, but that don't mean shit. The work don't stop just because you're tired. We all do things that we don't want to do. So moral of the story is, just because you don't want to do something, that doesn't mean don't do it. You feel me? Because that used to be my motto when I was younger. If I don't want to do something, I'm just not doing it. Now that I've gotten a little older, I realize just because you don't want to do something doesn't mean not to do it. That shit held me back and fucked me in a lot of times in my life because I didn't do things that I didn't want to do, when the whole time I could have been doing the hard things to progress me forward through life. But enough yapping. I'm finna probably go hop in the shower right now. Yo guys, what's up? So, earlier today I did end up taking a trade and winning the trade with the team. I ended up winning $400 on my eval, so the eval is up like somewhere between 600 and 700. I think I'll go ahead and I think I already threw that shit on the screen, or I'll throw it on the screen right now, because I did get a clip of me winning the trade. And I think somewhere in that clip I do show my, like the amount of money I got in the account. Because I got that shit turned off, like when I'm in a trade, it shows me my ticks, not the money amount. Which I feel like can help with psychology, because you're not looking at the dollar amount, you're looking at the ticks. And if you just do it enough, you automatically kind of like just know how much you're up just by the ticks anyway, so it shit don't matter. But yeah, I did lay down, end up laying down, and I guess I was tired as fuck today. So I fell asleep while watching this video from Tech Room Bible Talk. It's called The Father Understands. I made a coffee, creamer and sugar, well, milk and sugar, same thing. I got a little water bottle because I ain't had enough water today, so water's a necessity. I've had too much caffeine, not enough water, which is not a great thing, but it's alright. I did end up giving up my shift for work tomorrow because this whole week I have been lifting heavy, and I don't know, for some reason today at work, like, man, I didn't even realize the video cut off. That shit cut off midway through my talk. But like I was saying, I felt a little off mentally, like at work at the end of the shift, and my shoulder it started hurting and tingling. Maybe I lifted something wrong. Who knows? But I just gave up my shift for tomorrow. Like, yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna go tomorrow just because this whole week I have been lifting like pretty heavy, and um, I'm gonna just take tomorrow off, like a little rest day for my shoulder at least, cause I don't feel like I should overwork myself, especially for a job that's paying minimum. You know, when there's other ways to make money and shit. So I'm gonna take the day off tomorrow, a little rest day. I already said that. My bad for repeating myself. I did end up sleeping like I already said, so I made a coffee. Finna watch this Tech Room Bible Talk. Get back to, well, I'll still be working, just not for a job, because I'm not finna tear myself up for a job. I'll still be working on my content tonight and tomorrow, and getting back. I can trade tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, so I can take a trade tomorrow since I lost Monday, Tuesday, didn't trade Wednesday, and then I won today, won a little 400. You know, that's not even what I get paid in a week. It's about 6-7 days worth of working at my job, which it's a physical job, so I'm tearing myself up. When rather I find other ways to make money and just go to the gym. Like, this shit's a lot better to me. And in the gym, you know, I like going pretty heavy. But you know, sometimes making progress is just doing nothing as well. But just don't try and twist the words around to make yourself like lazy and shit. Like, you know, when it comes to trading, sometimes you're still working. It may not seem like it, but just by not taking any trades because it doesn't look good or it doesn't present itself according to your system and your rules and your strategy, you're still working because you're still showing up. You're still watching price and seeing what it's gonna do, and you're still getting experience just by watching watching what it's gonna do or what it's doing, because you know you remember that, and just by doing that, you get used to seeing what the market does and how it moves, especially whatever you're trading, whether it's indices, whether it's forex like US 30 or like, you know, pairs like fucking GBP, JPY. I think that's the right one. I don't know. I don't fucking trade forex, but y'all get the point, I hope. So yeah, finna drink my little coffee, try and work on some content right now, and watch this little, well, after my video, finna watch some Tag Room Bible Talk. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all in a bit because I don't want to keep repeating myself. So yeah.
Now, folks will look at that and say, well, there's a lot of oppressed today, and I don't see righteousness and judgment. You're looking at your definition of righteousness and judgment, and you're looking at your calendar. You're looking at your watch, and you're thinking because...
You guys, so I just finished up watching this video from Tech Room Bible Talk. It's about 23 minutes ish, and you know, some of the things that he was talking about, and I do want to relate this to some shit that I seen on Instagram like a few days ago, and because it kind of like, I know that it can confuse some people, but you know, at first I'm like, that don't even seem right. Which I'm talking about the Instagram post that I seen the other day. And my bad if I get a little like unorganized in my speech or the way I talk and explain things. You know, I'm still not the best at talking and explaining things just off the top of my head, but that's the whole reason I'm doing these videos, to get better, you feel me? So on Instagram the other day, I seen this dude posting obviously about sin and how we're saved, but if we continue to sin willfully, that we lose salvation and we lose the God's grace. Which I commented on that video and said, you know, pretty much no, that's incorrect. Once we're saved, whether we sin again or not. At the end of the day, every sin that we ever made or ever did was a choice, so every single sin is willful sin. And he tried to say, oh, well, Jesus Christ didn't die. He died for sin, but he didn't die for willful sin. Well, at the end of the day, sin is just a choice we make, so it's all willful sin. And after watching, Tech Room Bible Talk, a lot, I watch him a lot. He makes points and he explains things very well, and I just didn't agree with the dude from like Instagram from his comments on that post, whatever. If you ask me, right, God has grace and he has salvation, and yes, if we are saved by God through the blood of Jesus Christ, we're saved. We're saved forever. And once we're saved, he forgets all of our past sins. If we are saved for a bit and then we go back to sin, we can get punished, and we will get punished if we continue in that sin. But the Bible says somewhere that if you are pretty much punished or things start going wrong for you, well, rejoice in that, because basically you're getting belt to ass. God's giving you belt to ass for not doing what you're supposed to and doing right. But sometimes he doesn't punish us like as much as we deserve, because he's still a father to us. Like, he might be a spiritual father, but he's still a father, and he understands that at the end of the day, we're human, and we are sinful creatures. We are sinful by nature. It is our nature to be sinful. But, once you start following God, even if you do slip up and sin, which we all do, I don't care who you are, sin is our nature. And yeah, we will slip up, and it is damn near impossible to be sinless and perfect. The only person that I know that was that sinless was Jesus Christ, and he led as an example. Which, if you ask me, from my beliefs, Jesus Christ was God in the flesh. He came down here to experience what we experience, so he knows. And once we're saved, whether we sin or not, we may get punished, or he may just like punish it a little bit on the lighter side, not to overdo it. But if we continue in sin and we go back to that life and we enjoy it still, we don't feel anything like it's wrong. Obviously, we all feel wrong, and we sometimes feel as if, we're trying to do what's right, but we still continue to do what's wrong. Well, that's just our human nature. We have two bodies, right? We have the spiritual body, and we have the fleshly body, the earthly body. Our earthly body has desires, and it has, it wants to sin. It has certain desires that we want to do as just being human. Then on the other hand, we have the spiritual body, that when the fleshly body has these desires and does these sins, whether it's lust, whether it's fucking just drugs, although I don't really say that drugs is really a sin if it's just like alcohol and smoking weed. But now if you idolize it and overdo it, then yeah, it can be a sin. Whether it's lust, drugs, fucking just murder, lies, there's many types of sin. Sometimes it is a sin to just know what we're supposed to be doing as a God-fearing person, as a Christian, and not doing it. Even that could be a sin, because you have potential, that God has given you potential. He's given you gifts, and he's given you a light, but you don't spread it. It's like, I don't know what story it was in the Bible. Y'all might know what I'm talking about. Y'all might not. I'll talk about it on the next video. Fuck it, why not? I'll do a little bit of research once I'm done with this video right here and editing it. But basically, I think it was God. He gave, or maybe it was a master or some shit. I'd see. That's why I need to read my Bible more even. But it's basically, he gave these servants gifts or something along those lines, and they went out and they turned it into more. And then the one servant that he gave only one gift, they didn't go out and turn it into more. Instead, they hid it. So he took everything that one servant had and gave it to the one with the most, because the one with the most was the one, he was using his talents and his God-given abilities to multiply, essentially. And yeah, my bad for sounding all over the place. I'm trying to get better at it, so bear with me as I do this content on a daily basis. But When you have God-given abilities and you have potential and you have a light, you want to go out and spread that light and plant seeds for other people. So, what basically we want to do is spread grace and spread love and spread kindness. And even if we do fall back into sin, which we all do, we all sin. I don't care who you are, you're gonna sin from time to time, no matter if you're saved or not. But if you stay in that sin willfully and with enjoyment, then you will be punished. Obviously, God will not punish us as much as we deserve to be punished, but He still will punish us. But to say that just because you went back to sin willfully, that God took away His grace and He took away His salvation is just utterly fucking wrong. And I just completely disagreed with what that Instagram post was saying back on that topic. So, don't feel like that you've sinned too much to where even if you were saved once, you can't be saved, because God is still the same as He was before you were saved and after you saved, and He will be the same always and forever. So, if you fall back into a life of sin after being saved and being, what I'm trying to say, hopefully, and just come back to God. No sin is too much to be too much, pretty much. Just come back to God and repent once again. He will forget. After, He will forget. He will save you because we are saved through the blood of Jesus Christ. And my brain is just like, yeah. I'm sure y'all know what I mean. I'm sure y'all felt the same way as I felt before. Just blah. Big old fucking blank blah. Which is part of the reason that I quit smoking weed. And when it comes to a topic like smoking weed, I've quit smoking weed probably 1,000 or more times in my life. I've been smoking. I'm about to be 24 in a month or two, and I've been smoking since I was about 12 years old. And there's many, many, many times that I quit, but it wasn't until that I started trying to be a better man, be at the best version possible as me, and be somebody who follows in God, in the Bible, and in the salvation through Jesus Christ, and with a little bit of prayer too, and knowing that it's something that I no longer want, no longer enjoy, was I able to quit. Sometimes that's what you gotta do. When we turn to God, our old life that we once enjoyed, we no longer enjoy. So that's one part of it. But sometimes we will feel the urge to go back and do some of them old habits, some of them old sins, and we will go back and we will sin. And then we will realize, like, I don't like this no more. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel enjoyable no more. And then, for me personally, recently I did fall back into sin. I won't name names. I will actually, lustful sin, and that's probably my biggest one. Everybody has lustful sins, but it's okay. I started to feel that void on the inside of me again, like something was missing, and I feel as if I was disconnected from God for a while I was back into my old habits of sin, and so I said a little prayer, did a little repentance, and started trying to be that version of me that I liked again. And so, I'm back. And on my YouTube channel and through my content, I just want to be as genuine as I possibly can be and give as much game, knowledge, and value as I possibly can. I don't care if I'm doing it for free. I enjoy doing content. I realized, when I wasn't doing it, I liked doing content and I liked giving value. And I guess one of the reasons I stopped content is because I was focusing on the wrong shit. I was focusing on trying to get views, trying to get, likes, trying to get more than what I was given what I was blessed with just from doing it. And I realized that was the wrong way to look at it. I did enjoy it, but I was focusing on the wrong shit when I was previously doing it. Now, it's like the same thing when I was working my job. At one point, I was working my job strictly for the money. I work at FedEx, but once I got unsuspended after like a 6 month suspension from some bullshit, I realized once I went back that the pay's so bad I can't look at the pay no more because I literally get paid pennies on the dollar. I can't look at the pay no more, or I won't want to go to work. I will, like, it's kind of depressing. So I'm like, okay, if I look at it that way, I'm gonna be very, very demotivated. So what I started looking at when I go to work now is I go to work and I use it as a gym and to improve my social skills. That's it. Yeah, obviously, I do look forward to the money from it because I'm not doing the shit for free. If I was doing it for free, I would just stay home. But the money aspect of work is in the back of my mind because I have other ways to make money and shit too now, which I'm very grateful now that I have other sources of income besides just a job. Eventually, I don't know how long it will take, but eventually over time, I will start making money from content as well. But I have to put that shit in the back of my mind too because content, I'm not doing it for money and I'm not doing it for, likes or views or anything anymore. I'm doing it now just because I'm trying to be as genuine as possible, give value, give knowledge, and just because I overall enjoy it. And I think that's the most important part about trying to pick up certain habits. If you want to start going to the gym, go to the gym and enjoy the gym. Don't try and go to the gym to get girls. Don't try and go to the gym to get stronger. Obviously, some of y'all are probably gonna do that, but if that's what you're doing it for, obviously we all go to the gym to get stronger. But put that shit in the back of your mind and just go to the gym and be like, I enjoy it. Try and enjoy it as much as possible. With content, if you want to be a content creator, obviously, you want to be whatever you want to be, whether it's big, whether it's paid from content, whatever it is. Put that shit in the back of your mind. That shit will only come as a result of you doing what you need to do. So try and find some enjoyment while you're doing it. Enjoy the process. I finally understand after all these years what it means to try and enjoy the process. The best enjoyment comes from the journey, not the destination. Like, I'm sure y'all have heard that before, and I finally understand what that shit means after, a couple of different ventures in my life, would just say to sum it up. I'm like, okay, I enjoy that. And when I was focused on the destination, there was no enjoyment. Also, another thing that I was doing with some of my content is comparing myself to other people who have been doing this shit for years. And I had to think about it one day. I'm like, well, when I go to the gym, there's big ass motherfuckers in the gym, and I'm not as big as some of these people, but they've probably been doing it for a long time. And everybody has their own journey at the end of the day. So instead of looking at what other people got and trying to wish that I had that, that's completely wrong. I have my own journey, and I look back on some areas, like some points in my life, and realize when I was just being me and didn't care what other people were doing, I was the most happy. I felt the most fulfilled. So I basically am saying all this just to say we will all sin. At the end of the day, we're all sinners. We're sinful by nature. God understands that we're sinners, and He will punish us, but He won't punish us as much as we deserve to be punished because He understands that that's just how we are. And sometimes we can't help it. So that's where conviction comes in. But besides that as well, we all have our own journey, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in trading, whether it's in Christianity, whether it's in our walk with God. Don't focus on what other people are doing or how their walk in life on their journeys are going, but instead focus on your walk in any venture of your life, all ventures of your life, and focus on your journey, and don't compare yourself to other people, and along the journey, enjoy the journey, because one day we'll be old on our deathbed and we'll look back and be like, damn, I wish I would have enjoyed life a little bit more. But in the world that we live in nowadays, everything's so fast paced, so we're always trying to rush to do this, rush to do that, rush to do this, and sometimes we can't take a moment and just enjoy the things of life. But yeah, this video is already pretty long, and I don't like making videos too long because some of y'all probably won't watch it because TikTok, fucking Instagram, YouTube Shorts, it all got our brains and attention spans fried. So just to end the video off, make sure y'all sit down from time to time and have a little peaceful moment just to slow down. Sometimes a slow life is a little bit better, even just moments of slowness. I wouldn't say slowness, just moments of like solitude where there's no noise around you for even if it's fucking 10, 20, 30 minutes out of a day. It's good enough, and you'll start to realize, like, damn, this is peaceful. And I was thinking about this the other day, right? When I used to smoke weed still, I would go in the backyard no matter where I lived, and I would just not take my phone. I would just go out there, sit, watch the birds, listen to the wind, and smoke my blunt. And it would be very peaceful because, if any of y'all still smoke or have smoked, y'all know a blunt probably is lasting like a good 5-10 minutes. So you got that little 5 to 10 minutes just to be alone with your thoughts. And especially when I used to smoke, it would be at nighttime. So it was even more peaceful because there's just no noise. And so, I don't smoke weed no more, but I did order a box of cigars. I don't know when they'll be here, probably within a week or so. And so I'm going to start using that. I'm going to make that a little habit for maybe a few times a week to where, like, after I'm done what I want to do or after work, I sit down, just use it as like a meditation, just light a fat ass fucking cigar and just sit and chill. No phones, no technology, nothing. Just me, my thoughts, and peacefulness, slowness, stillness, I would say is a better word than slowness. But yeah, y'all take care, have a blessed day, enjoy your day, enjoy the process, and don't compare yourself to anybody. Comparison is a thief of joy. But yeah, I'll talk to y'all in the next one.